everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's video is one that's been a long time coming. It's something I've been preparing for quite some time, and it's hard to know when I feel prepared because this brand releases something every single week basically, so it's a little difficult. But the brand is ColourPop, as you saw because you looked at the title of the video when you clicked on it. So you already know what this is about. We're gonna be doing a full face of ColourPop. While we're doing this video, I'm gonna be letting you guys know what my favorites from this brand are and the things here that I'm less fond of, but I will definitely be letting you know the things that I feel like you definitely need to try from ColourPop. Before we get into it, if you have not yet, please do subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. Also ring the bell so that you can be notified when I upload videos on Friday. Oh yeah, and you can follow me on social media if you feel so inclined. My handle will be popping up right here below me so you can check me out on the social medias. If you don't know anything about ColourPop, this is a brand that is drugstore pricing, but it's not available at drugstores. They do have a good amount of their products available at Ulta, which you can get in stores, but they have like so much more than that if you go to their actual website. They do have two sister brands. They might even have like 4 sister brands at this point, but the two that I'm very aware of is Fourth Ray Beauty, which is a skincare brand, and Soul Body, which is a body brand. So I just wanted to mention those before we kind of get into it to get you a little bit more familiar with this brand if you're not already. So let's get into it, you guys. Let's do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the ColourPop products. I did just now go ahead and prime my eyes just to go ahead and get prepared. Gosh, I guess this can be the first thing we talk about are their eyeshadow palettes. As you can see, I have a couple of them here, but this isn't even close to the amount that they actually have. Since this brand has been founded in 2014, they've definitely come out with the most amount of eyeshadow palettes, I'd say, over any other category of makeup, and I'm sure it's in the hundreds. I mean, it is a lot of palettes. So they have their more mainstay palettes. Very typical size is the 9 pan here. And then they do a lot of collaborations with properties, so like the Hocus Pocus collection, and with other influencers and YouTubers like Raw Beauty Christie. These both came out last year. This one was for Halloween last year, and this one came out in I think November or so last year. So they do a lot of cool collaborations as well. Oh, and this one's a collaboration technically, but I forget because it's still available on their site. Like, it wasn't limited edition. The Star Wars and Mandalorian. So they do a lot of cool collaborations that are just really fun. And then they have kind of their mainstay palettes here. Now, I've had more palettes from them than this throughout time. I've just kind of edited down my collection to the ones that I would love to keep forever. I definitely say my top 2 palettes from them, period, are these two right here. So we have the Going Coconuts palette. I mean, I use it a lot. The writing is rubbing off a lot. We have the Going Coconuts palette, which is a really nice neutral brown palette. And we also have the That's Taupe palette, which is also a really nice neutral palette, more cool toned, much more neutral toned. And these are kind of mainstays for me. I've had the Going Coconuts for quite some time. It's been out for quite a while, since I think maybe year before last. But either way, and then That's Taupe came out last year, I think. And I just love their neutral palettes. They have a really nice eyeshadow formula. I quite enjoy them. I will say that it does vary sometimes on their palettes. There are some palettes that are of less quality than others, but these are the ones I'm mentioning today are definitely really solid quality across the board. Those are definitely my 2 favorites. I also really love, this is just newer to me and I just haven't used it quite enough yet, the Wild Child palette. Now this is a really nice, warm, rich palette. So beautiful. I love that one. You guys have seen me use the Baby Got Peach palette in a peachy spring tutorial that I did not super long ago. I also love this one. This is called Making Mauve, which is a really nice, obviously mauve palette. I'll just mention this last one because it's still available. The Star Wars and Mandalorian palette a really, really cool green palette that's just very interesting, and I just don't have anything quite like it, and you guys know I've been into greens lately, and so I love it. Those are the eyeshadow palettes, which I really don't know what direction I'm gonna go in today as far as eyes. Let me just go through all the eye products and then I will make my decision, I think. So the other thing, this is one of the first products that they released. These are the Supershock eyeshadows. So these are, as you can see my fingerprint in this one, a cream formula. So it does press in. It's not a traditional cream. It's kind of like a cream gel hybrid in my opinion, the way it feels. It feels kind of cooling when you put your finger in it. But they are really, really high payoff shadow, and they come in a variety of finishes. A lot of them are pretty high shine, so they have the really, really high shine ones, a little bit more of like a metallic. They also do like satins and mattes, but I mostly like them as a topper, so that's the shades that I have. I have 4 that are just like, weren't a part of any specific collection, and these are definitely my favorites. Okay, so here they are. Wow, so bright. So starting from the top, we have Cosmic Charge, Amaze, Ritz, and Ladybird. So there they are right there. They're so high shine, so I'm trying to twist it so you can really see the actual color. They're really, really nice. They're really high shine, and you know, like Ritz is a little bit more of like a, it doesn't have a base color to it. It's more like just a topper glitter kind of situation. So they're different, definitely. They're not all just the same. But those are like from their just core kind of collection. You can definitely get these. I do believe these are still available as well. These are from the Robbie Christie collaboration they did. This is the shade Like a Moss, which is a really cool gold to kind of green shift. And the shade Mycelium, which is a really, really nice champagne color. Really pretty. Also, this is probably still available as well, actually. This is from the Wild Child collection. This is the shade Run Wild, which is a really cool bronze shade that has, it's hard to see here, but it has so many different color glitters in it. It's so nice. It just gives so much dimension to the eyes. So those are really special and definitely something that like stands out from ColourPop. They will dry out if you don't keep the lids on them really tight, because they are a cream formula, they're not powder, so they will dry out if you're not careful. So Supershock is something that's a very big part of their line. So those are the eyeshadows that I have from them that I know very well. For my eyes today, or at least for like just the mattes, because I'll probably use a Supershock on my lid. I think I will just use my Going Coconuts palette just to keep it neutral for now. Probably do a pretty simple look overall. But I will say the shimmers in the palettes are also really, really, really nice. I absolutely use these pretty regularly. It wouldn't be a regular palette of mine if I didn't use these, you know? Wouldn't be a favorite palette. So their shimmer formula is really nice, and they do have a variety of different glittery finishes in their palettes. Now, I personally don't love their pressed glitters that they put in the palettes sometimes, so I generally stay away from those. So just so you know, none of those that I'm mentioning here really have that in them, I don't think. Anyway, not the point. So I'm first gonna start out with just the nude shade over here called Shredded. This is my initial placing of eyeshadow down, kind of on my upper crease region over up here towards my eyebrow. We're gonna keep it pretty high. Now I'm gonna just go in with Coolata, which is over here in this other corner. It leans a little bit cool, but it's mainly neutral. It's not crazy cool tone. It's a really nice brown. Now I'm just gonna dip into yeah, Lovely Bunch, which is right here. Very neutral brown. Put that in my crease. This palette is so easy for that reason. Just nice kind of throw it in your crease kind of situation. I could just leave it here, you know, and put on some mascara and be good. So now I'm gonna start to warm this up quite a bit more with going in with the shade right here. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is the shade Shell, yeah. I'm just gonna take a smaller blending brush with this, start it on my outer corner, and then slowly take it into my crease a little bit, just lower crease. Okay, now I'm gonna take an even smaller, little dense blending brush, and what I'm gonna do is dip into Shell Yeah and Nutty down here in the bottom corner, just to run that really close to my lashes and my outer, very outer corner. Really nice kind of smoky brown moment here. Okay, let's put on a Super Shock. Which one is the question? For my lid, I'm gonna go in with Cosmic Charge. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that same shadow on a brush, just so that I can get a little bit more precision. Very, very nice. Yeah, I love that. Very neutral, but you know, it's very wearable. So you know, if you wanted to recreate this, this is definitely something you can wear wherever you want. Okay, the other eye product that I wanted to mention before I move on, these are pretty new. These are called the Color Sticks from ColourPop. They are stick eyeshadows, and they came out with like 6 or 8 of each matte and then the same number shimmery. I think it's like 6. But these are pretty new and I've been trying them. I don't like them. They're not very blendable. They're pretty dry. I just think you can do better even for the price. The new Milani ones are a lot nicer than this in my opinion. Don't ever want to recommend anything to you guys that I feel like you wouldn't be able to work with as easily. So I just wouldn't want to recommend anything like that. So that's those. Disappointment, but it is what it is. Can't all be winners, you know? Mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and put on a layer of mascara. You guys know how I do the Stitch. We do have a couple mascaras here. So their original mascara is the BFF Volumizing Mascara. I have 2 shades here. I have black and I have brown. As you can see, very, very fluffy wand here. We got a fluffy bristly wand that's kind of an hourglass shape to it, but very subtly. What's pretty new from them is the Act Natural Defining Mascara. So this also has a bristle wand, but it's much more uniform and kind of tapers at the tip. And I actually also picked up the Act Natural in the shade brown. They are a little bit more different browns, like the Act Natural is a little bit of a deeper brown and this one's a little bit more of a warm brown. But still, you can see there the differences in the wand shapes and they definitely give pretty different effects on the eyelashes. I do really like the BFF original mascara. It's very volumizing. I think it looks really nice. I think it's very dramatic mascara. So that's great. I really was surprised by how much I like this mascara. I wanted to wear it today and show you guys. I've just been very, very impressed with it. It just gives me such nice defined fluffy lashes. Very long as well. It's just really pretty. It's less dramatic, but still really, really pretty. Okay, so I've just put on 1 layer. Look really nice so far, but it really builds very nicely, which I'm just quite impressed with it, honestly. I didn't expect to like it very much, but I really do. So let's go in with the brows. You guys already know about this first product. I mentioned this in my favorite brow products. This is the ColourPop Brow Gloss Gel. This is the tinted gel in the shade light brown. I really, really love this. This is something I've loved for quite some time. It's been a couple years. I think they actually just redid the packaging for this. This is just a really, really great tinted brow gel. It doesn't flake off or anything. It just defines them really nicely. It has a nice small spoolie, lasts really well. I just really, really love it. Also, this shade is like perfect. I've loved it for years. It's a staple for me. I will always have it. Please don't take it away from me, ColourPop. I'm gonna fill in my brows using their Brow Gloss pencil. They have another brow pencil now, I believe. I don't know what it's called, but this is the Brow Gloss pencil. It's a really nice brow pencil, just, you know, nothing super special. I do wish it was slightly more pigmented and less dry, but also some people kind of like it that way, but this is just me personally. Alrighty, so I've just finished filling in my brows with the pencil. Let's go ahead and set them in so that we can see how this holds throughout the rest of the video. This is also pretty new from ColourPop. This is Clear Feather Effect Styling Wax. So just their clear styling wax. They also came out with a shade that had some dark brown pigment to it, but I personally prefer the clear. If you have darker brown or even black brows, I'm sure the darker one would work for you just fine. And they also came out with a little brush to go with it, which I actually just like this brush for all the other products that are similar to this that I use. So same with a lot of these, like soap or like Patrick Ta has this kind of product as well. You just spray some setting spray in there, make sure it gets nice and soapy. Well, it's a wax, so it's not gonna get soapy, but pick it up on your spoolie and you just run it through your brows. And it does tend to, all of them usually do this, like this kind of product removes a little bit of the brow pencil, so I usually just go back in and fill it back in later once this dries down. So this is supposed to give you like the feathery soap brow kind of effect. This one is fine upon application. It looks fine right now. I do wish it was a little bit thicker in texture when you wet it. But the main problem with this is that it does not hold very well. When I spike my brows up like this, I need them to be cemented in place. I wanted to go ahead and apply that so that you can see throughout the video when it eventually falls, unfortunately. But that's that product. Wow, it really took a lot of the product on my brows. That's another thing I don't like about these. Soap doesn't do it to me as much even as this. So, and I mean, even like the Patrick Ta one did the same thing to my brows and I didn't like it. So, you know, it's not just because it was cheap, it's just that type of formulation. It's not my fave. I just wish that it worked better. Just wish that it held better. Okay, let's finally get into the complexion, huh? So they do have several sponges, and I'll be using one of them today. I think this is called the Pretty Fresh sponge. It's okay, not my favorite, but it's fine. But I do have others that I prefer more. It's not as good as the Beauty Blender. I like the EcoTools biodegradable sponge even better, so just not a favorite. It's fine though. So for complexion, as far as like a hydrating, illuminating primer that I usually use with this brand, we have the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Illuminator. And there's several shades of this. I have the shade Soft Gold, and I don't like this very much. One, it's like very yellow gold, and two, it's just kind of chunky. It just doesn't look super nice when it's blended out. I mean, it's definitely like highlighting, and from far away it looks nice, but up close, yeah, you can definitely see there. You can see the glitter particles in it, which is just not my favorite. It's fine. It would probably be fine if I mixed it in with my foundation or put it underneath. I'll just do that for the sake of this video. Just put some dots around the face. Just put some on the high points. It's just not very smoothing. It's pretty texture enhancing in my opinion, but there are plenty of others that I would recommend more, which you can see in my favorite cream highlight video. So you can check that out and find out what my favorites actually are. Not this. What is really good actually from this brand are their base products. Well, specifically these two. Their Pretty Fresh baseline is really, really nice. So we have the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer and the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. These are really, really nice. A very light coverage, a very medium buildable coverage as far as what these are looking like, but they do just give you that very fresh, very hydrated finish on your skin. I quite like wearing this for events and things like that. I think I even mentioned this in my favorite foundations. It's definitely a favorite. I really, really like their complexion products. So today, I think I'm gonna mix the two together for a nice concoction to give me a nice light medium coverage moment. So I'm just gonna do a squirt of each. Ooh, this is a little light for me because these are kind of my wintry shades, but let me blend this in with the brush a little bit first. Yeah, it's a little light, but that's okay. This is definitely not an overly dewy foundation finish. You could definitely make it more dewy if I mixed it with other things or put something different underneath it, but it's a very nice natural finish, very adaptable. I think a lot of people could wear this foundation no matter your skin type or whatever. These are pretty widely loved products from this brand anyway. So I'm sure if you've heard anything about ColourPop, it's probably not super surprising to you that these are good. We're just having a paler day today. That's confirmation that I've gotten tanner, you guys. Makes me feel good. Wow, that makes me look so pale. We'll bronze it up, we'll fix it. Okay, for concealer, they have two concealers. They have their original concealer. I don't remember the name. It's been out for quite a long time. I don't like that one. It's definitely too matte for me. It's definitely too drying. But they do have the Pretty Fresh concealers, which are okay. They're not my favorite, nothing super great to write home about, but they're okay. They don't have the fullest coverage. Definitely more of like a light medium coverage in my opinion. I have two shades here, light 40 and light 20. That's another thing is they don't have a perfect shade for me. Also, it oxidizes quite a bit. So I do have to mix these two shades to make sure that it doesn't, see that looks pretty light right now, but it will oxidize quite a bit darker. So I will just put a little bit of 20 right in here and we'll blend that out. So now I've put a little bit of eyeshadow on my lower lash line. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of mascara on there as well, just while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, all I did was just use the same two browns that I did in my crease originally from the Going Coconuts palette on my lower lash line. Plain and simple, very easy. Went ahead and refixed my brows. Now let's continue on with the cheeks. So for bronzer, I'm obviously gonna use a cream bronzer because I am who I am. So their sister brand, Soul Body, came out with these face and body bronzing balms. Like maybe even last year it was. I can't remember when it was, but last year or something like that. And I just never tried them. It smells really good. Because I had heard a lot of people say they were really nice on the face. So I do think the formula is really nice, but this color, which is the shade Light, they have like a fair and a light and a medium, and it goes pretty deep as well. It's a little bit too orange for me, as you can clearly see. I just wish it wasn't so orange, just a little bit more neutral, and then I would really like it. Because the formula is pretty nice. It's really nice and easy to blend, and I have no problems applying it or anything. It's just the color, but I am gonna apply it because we're doing a full face of ColourPop, so I'm gonna power through it. I mean, it looks fine. No, it looks pretty orange. So if you are a little bit more warmer toned than I am and you think that that would work on you, it's a nice formula. So that's that. For highlight, a classic highlighter from ColourPop are the Supershock Highlighters. So here's size comparison of the eyeshadow versus the highlighter. And these are really, really nice. So I have two shades here. I have the shade Wisp and Lunch Money. And they are the same texture as the eyeshadows. They're that nice kind of soft gel cream formula. So we have Wisp and Lunch Money. They're really, really pretty. I love this formula, and it's very much so a nice soft highlighter. It's not too glittery in any way. It just looks really beautiful on the skin. I think today I'm gonna go in with Wisp. That's definitely like the shade I like to go with in the summertime. It's a little bit deeper, and it's nice and neutral toned. Like, look at that. It's just, so that's my regular cheek, and that's with the Supershock highlighter. And you can definitely get a whole lot of payoff out of these for sure. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that highlighter on a brush and into my inner corners. Alrighty, that's highlighter. I love this. This is definitely a very favorite product from this brand. Definitely in my top 5, I'd say. I don't know, maybe I should do a little ranking at the end. Anyway, blush. So this is the product that made me realize, oh, now I can do a full face of ColourPop. They came out with these. These are called the Cheek Dews. So with this, I realized they had a cream bronzer, a cream highlight, and a cream blush. So I was like, now I can do a full face. I have 3 shades here. I'll swatch them for you as per usual. First, all the way over here, we have Kiss Kiss. And then this one in the middle is called Instant Crush. And then the one all the way over here on the end is called Beyond. So these are a very dewy finish serum blush. They're a little bit more gel-like than the M Cosmetics serum blushes. The M Cosmetics is definitely a more liquidy, actual feels like a serum. This is a little bit of a thicker consistency, but still pretty liquidy. It's really nice though. I mean, they all would work really well with this look, honestly. Maybe I'll start out with some Instant Crush. That's the deeper brown one. I'm actually gonna apply these with my fingers to start with, just cause they are a gel. We're going on top of foundation and things. You just wanna be a little careful with a foundation that dries down the way this one does. See, it's already removing a little bit of the foundation underneath. I definitely recommend wearing these with something that was really light coverage, like a skin tint. Definitely not like a full foundation, full glam kind of moment. So if you're more of a no makeup kind of person, this will be for you. If you're not, then I don't think so. Whereas with the M Cosmetics serum blushes, which they were clearly trying to dupe here, it does just work better over top of all foundations in my opinion. Doesn't break any of your foundation up. I've never experienced that personally. Yeah, they're okay. I kind of wish they were nicer because the shades are really pretty. I would like to see them come out with an actual cream blush. Well, they had their sticks blushes, the stick cream blushes, which I also just thought were fine. I never was really like crazy about them. They were a little too stiff for me, so maybe they'll come out with like a cream and a compact kind of situation, and that might be nice. Yeah, it looks okay. It's not the most even that I've ever seen a blush be, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you can see right here when I'm at this angle that I don't have any foundation left underneath there. And it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me. They're just better, honestly. They're just better cream blushes. And if you wanna know what they are, you can check out my favorite blush video because almost all the blushes in that video were cream or liquid, so that's that. So as you're seeing, this brand can be pretty hit and miss. Back to Happy. So we're kind of going up and down and up and down. My very favorite, I think, it might be, honestly, favorite product from ColourPop are their lip liners. These are the Lippie Pencils from ColourPop. And as you can see, I really like them because I have so many of them. And I've used up a couple of these. So I'll just quickly list off some of the best shades that I think you should really try. Starting with, very obviously, the BFF lip liner. Really great nude. They have BFF 2 and 3 that are even deeper, really nice nudes. Also the shade So Happy, S-O-W, from their like field kind of collection. A really nice warm nude, and the shade Little One, if you can ever get that. It's a really nice mid-tone nude as well. So those are just a couple of my favorites, but I obviously love all of these. They're just really great. If you see any shade that you think would suit you well, go for it because this formula is incredible. It's a sharpenable pencil. I just think it's really beautiful. So I really can just kind of pick whatever shade I want, huh? Maybe I will go with Little One. That's what we're gonna go for today. I'll start out with Little One and I might deepen it up. This shade is straight up the same shade as my lips. So it's really nice for overlining because it just looks very natural. Let's go a little warmer and a little deeper. I think with the shade Field Day. I'm just gonna take this on the very outer corners. I use my finger to blend it in. That's nice. And I think I'm just kind of mixing it up here for fun. Truly at this point. I'm gonna go in with the shade Curvy 2. And I'm just gonna fill in my lips with that, honestly. This is the shade I was looking for. Oh yeah, so pretty. I probably went a little overboard there, but that's fine. These I think are my favorite product from ColourPop. They're great, you definitely should try them. As far as other lip products, again, I just feel like this is a category that they haven't really spoken to me in yet. They've come out with a ton of lip products, liquid lip products, balms, glosses, you name it, they've probably come out with it. Stick products, anyway, all this stuff. And I just wasn't super impressed. So I'm just gonna use one of their Lux Glosses, which are okay, in the shade Eclectic. Again, it's just okay. One, I don't like the scent on these. It smells like vanilla cupcakes at first, but then there's a very chemically undertone to it. Also, kind of sticky. Just a little too sticky for my taste. Also not crazy shiny. I've just seen higher shine. It kind of reminds me more of like a balm shine. It's not like super shiny, you know what I mean? Besides the lip liners, their lip category has never really like super impressed me, so. Okay, so before we end this, I just wanna mention quickly, I think the best products from ColourPop are definitely the lip pencils. You gotta try them, you definitely should. They're just great. Some of my very favorite lip liners just of all time. The Tinted Brow Gel is excellent, a staple in my collection. I'll never be without it. Their complexion products, specifically this one, I think I like it a little bit more than this one just because this is a tinted moisturizer. I have several others like this that I might like slightly more or less, but definitely this ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation is really, really nice, really special, especially for the price, it's really great. Also been really impressed with this mascara and just the mascaras from ColourPop in general. Definitely worth trying, as well as their eye products, not including the sticks, but definitely the Supershock Shadows you should definitely try if you haven't yet. Some of the eyeshadow palettes that I mentioned here today are just definitely worth trying if you're looking for something that could be a staple in your collection, but it's also affordable. The Supershock highlights, really great. You can kind of see at this point that my brows are just kind of a mess. Yeah, I would definitely not recommend that brow wax because I just now had to refix my brows, which is super annoying. So, but those are just some of my favorites that I definitely think are worth trying from this brand. It's a really fun brand. It's a really cool brand. They come out with a lot of really cool releases that I think are just really unique, and they come out with so much product all the time. So there's definitely something for you to try in this brand, I'm sure. So that's fully it for me today, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you guys have tried anything from ColourPop and what that product is, if I've mentioned it in today's video or not, if I liked it or not. Let me know why you like it. And let me know also if you've never tried anything from this brand, what maybe from this video you're looking forward to trying the most. So, alrighty, well, I'll just see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for being here once again. Bye.